All right, chat, buckle up because this story is a ride. And honestly, telling it out loud feels like reliving a fever dream. Like, imagine the world shutting down, everyone panicking, stores running out of toilet paper, and instead of bonding with your spouse and learning TikTok dances together, he's out here writing his own Netflix special called Cheater Pandemic Edition. So let me set the scene. It's 3 years ago. COVID hits, the schools close, the world feels like it's ending. And me, I'm just trying to keep it together, like making banana bread, rewatching The Office for the 10th time, and making sure we have enough hand sanitizer to last us to the next century. And my husband, who is also a teacher, by the way, is working from home, which basically means endless Zoom meetings, lesson planning, and apparently building emotional intimacy with a younger coworker. Because yes, that's how he spent lockdown. And here's where I want to ask you guys, would you have noticed the signs? Because I didn't. At first, he was just stressed. He was venting. He was staying connected with colleagues. And me, the supportive wife, thought, oh, he's just making the best of a bad situation. But no, turns out those vent sessions were just an appetizer before the main course of betrayal. Fast forward a couple of months, and he straight up moves out. No warning, no hey, let's talk this through, nothing. Just packs a bag and says he needs space. I was sitting there like, what just happened? Did I miss a whole season of our marriage? Like, one minute we're playing Scrabble in our pajamas, and the next he's auditioning for the role of disloyal husband in some off-brand soap opera. And here's where it gets even wilder. The girl he left me for? Yeah, she turned out to be awful to him. Like, karma really woke up that morning and said, I'm clocking in for overtime, bestie. Now, let me pause here, because I know some of you are probably thinking, good, he deserved it. And yeah, you're not wrong. But tell me if this isn't the most messed up thing. Even though she treated him like garbage, I was still sitting there hurting, crying, wondering what I did wrong. Isn't that insane? Like, he's the one who cheated, but somehow I was the one blaming myself. And chat, be honest, would you have taken him back? Because when she eventually dumped him, shocker, he came crawling back to me. Cue the sad puppy dog eyes, the tears, the I'll never hurt you again, you're my one and only, I don't even know what I was thinking. And against every ounce of common sense, against every friend screaming in my head, against all logic, I took him back. Why? Because I loved him. Simple as that. And when you love someone so much, you convince yourself that maybe, just maybe, this time they mean it. You want to believe the script they're selling you, even when it's written in red flags. And let me tell you, I know half of you watching right now are shaking your heads like, girl, no, never take back a cheater. And I get it, I really do. But when it's your life, it's not black and white, it's messy. It's like Minecraft survival mode. You've built this world, this base, put in hours of effort, and when a creeper blows half of it up, you don't just rage quit, you try to rebuild. So that's what I did. I let him back in. I let him hold me. I let him say all the right things. And for 3 years, I tried to believe him. Tried to convince myself that the affair was just a terrible mistake, a one-time thing. And chat, let me ask you, do you think people can actually change? Like, once someone cheats, do you think it's possible for them to truly never do it again? Because I wanted to believe that with my whole heart. I wanted to believe I was the exception, the one he'd never risk losing again. But here's the thing. Sometimes what feels like a second chance is really just an intermission. The storm wasn't over. It was just taking a coffee break. And that, my friends, is how betrayal number 1 set the stage for betrayal number 2. Okay, chat, so you think after betrayal number 1, after a whole pandemic affair and me still taking him back, my husband would have learned his lesson, right? Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice? At that point, I may as well put on a red nose and call myself the entertainment at a birthday party. Because apparently I was about to become a professional clown in my own marriage. So here's how it went down. Fast forward a couple of years after the first affair. Things seemed fine, not perfect, never perfect, but okay. We were going to work, cooking dinner together, sometimes laughing, sometimes arguing about bills, normal married life stuff. And I really thought we were rebuilding. I thought the cracks were patched. But my gut wasn't buying it. You know when you're mining in Minecraft and you just know there's lava right behind that last block of stone? That's how my stomach felt every time he said, "I'm heading out, don't wait up." Couple months ago, I start noticing that he's at this flat a lot, like suspiciously a lot. And every time I'd ask about it, I'd get some vague answer like, "Oh, I'm just crashing at a friend's place." Now, chat, what would you do here? Do you immediately blow up, demand answers, or do you play it cool and start connecting the dots? Because me, I tried to play it cool. I didn't want to come off paranoid, but inside, my brain was like one of those red string conspiracy boards. So finally, I asked him straight up, "What's going on at this flat? Who's there?" And he looks me dead in the eye and says, "Don't worry, she's just a friend. Nothing's going on." Just a friend? Uh-huh. Because people always lie about their friends, right? And just a side note, if your partner can't even tell you their friend's real name, spoiler alert, they're not just friends. Let me know, Chad, would you have bought that excuse? Or would you have been like me, half believing it because you want to, but also half screaming inside because you know it doesn't add up? So, yesterday, I finally put it all together. Little things he'd said, things he hadn't said, the way he avoided details. And I confronted him again. No more soft questions, no more giving him the benefit of the doubt. I cornered him like a creeper in a cave. And finally, he came clean. Yeah, he admitted it. He's dating her. Again. The same woman from the first affair. Chad, I swear my heart dropped through the floor. Like, you ever spend hours enchanting gear in Minecraft and then fall straight into lava? That's what this felt like. I was devastated the first time, but this was next level pain. Betrayal 2.0, betrayal with expansion packs. Because here's the kicker. The first time I could at least understand. Not excuse, but understand. COVID was stressful. People were lonely. Everyone's mental health was in the trash. He made a horrible choice, but I could see how he slid into that situation. But this time, there's no pandemic excuse, no stress excuse, nothing. He just prefers her. That's it. He looked at me, the one who forgave him, who took him back, and decided she was worth risking it all for. And here's where I want to hear from you. What's worse, cheating because of circumstances or cheating just because you'd rather be with someone else? Because in my mind, the second one is brutal. It's not, "Oops, I messed up." It's, "Nah, I want her instead." That's not a mistake. That's a preference. And the audacity, the absolute nerve. This man has to then look at me and say, "But I don't want to lose you either." Like, excuse me? What am I, a side quest? The backup chest you keep in case your main loot gets blown up? We sat down and talked for 3 hours. 3 hours of me sobbing, him twisting words, making excuses, saying half-truths. And you ever notice how cheaters love coming clean in stages? Like they drip feed you the truth, hoping you'll be too exhausted to dig deeper. The whole time, I kept thinking, if you didn't have feelings for her, there wouldn't even be a her. You wouldn't need to lie. You wouldn't need to hide names. There wouldn't be any flat. And the worst part, while he was sneaking around with her, he was still telling me he loved me, that I was the one, that he wanted a future with me. Chat, I need to know, could you ever believe those words again? If someone told you you're the one while cheating behind your back, would those words ever hold meaning after that? And here's the thought that keeps me up at night. If he can cheat on me multiple times, why would I ever believe he won't cheat on her too? But then another darker thought creeps in. What if he doesn't? What if she gets the version of him I always wanted? And that's the knife right there. The idea that he looked at both of us and simply chose her. That he wants a fresh start with her instead of finishing the story with me. So yeah, that's how betrayal number 2 landed. Not with a bang, but with the slow realization that I was never his first choice. And honestly, I don't know what's worse, the lying or the knowing that deep down he'd rather be with her. So now, chat. This is where I'm at. Sitting in the ruins of my marriage, staring at the mess like it's a blown-up Minecraft base after a creeper party. And the question echoing in my head over and over is, what now? Because here's the thing. 3 years ago, I could at least pretend it was a mistake. A horrible one, but a mistake. This time, there's no pretending. He chose her, straight up. And that's the part that breaks me. And let me ask you guys, what do you even do when the person you love most in the world proves not once, but twice that you were never their first choice? Do you walk away clean? Do you fight for them? Or do you just sit there, frozen, because the thought of losing them hurts almost as much as staying does? That's where I am, torn in two. We talked for 3 hours the other night, and I swear, chat, those 3 hours aged me 3 years. Him rambling about how he doesn't want to lose me, how he loves me, how I'm the best thing that ever happened to him, and all I could think was, if I really was, you wouldn't have needed a her. There wouldn't be a her. And it hurts because I know he believes part of what he's saying. But love without action is just noise. It's like building a massive house in Minecraft but never putting a bed in it. You can call it home all you want, but you'll never respawn there. And chat, be honest, do you think words mean anything if actions don't match? Because right now, those I love yous feel like sand slipping through my fingers. And let me tell you, the grief is unreal. It hits in waves. 1 minute, I'm numb, scrolling through TikTok, pretending everything's fine. The next, I'm sobbing into my pillow like I'm auditioning for a drama series. Then comes the anger, the screaming in my head anger, where I want to throw his stuff out the window. And then, just like that, back to longing. Back to remembering the nights we laughed so hard we couldn't breathe. The way his hand fit in mine. The way he used to look at me before all of this. It's like an endless emotional roller coaster that I didn't buy a ticket for. And here's another thing. I don't really have family. He was my family. He was my safe place, my home base, my partner in everything. And now I feel like I've been evicted from my own life. Do any of you know that feeling? Like you built your entire identity around someone and now they're gone and you don't even know who you are anymore. And yeah, people will say, you deserve better. And they're right, I do. But knowing that doesn't patch the hole in my chest. It doesn't stop me from missing him even when I hate him. It doesn't stop the ache when I lay in bed and realize nobody's coming through that door. So what do I do? Do I try dating again? Because honestly, chat, let me know if you've ever felt this. Every time I've tried, nothing goes anywhere. Nobody wants me. It's like I'm invisible. Meanwhile, he could sneeze in a Walmart and leave with someone's phone number. How is that fair? And that's when the darkest thought creeps in. Maybe love just isn't meant for me. Maybe I'm not built for it. Maybe I'm just the tutorial level, the practice run before someone finds their real person. And let me ask you, have you ever felt like you were just someone's stepping stone? Because that's how it feels. Like I was good enough to teach him what love is, but not good enough to keep it. And the self-blame? It's relentless. My brain keeps looping, you're stupid for taking him back. You're stupid for believing him. You're stupid for loving him. And then the grief swoops in and reminds me, but you did love him with everything you had. And that just makes the sadness heavier. Because here's the painful truth. I did everything right. I loved him, forgave him, supported him, tried my best. And in the end, it wasn't enough. Not because I wasn't enough, but because he didn't choose me. And chat, tell me, what hurts more? Knowing you weren't enough or knowing you were enough, but they just wanted someone else anyway? So now I'm left with this giant empty question mark. How do I move forward? How do I rebuild when the person I trusted most lit the whole structure on fire? Some days I fantasize about just walking away clean, blocking his number, changing the locks, never looking back. Other days, I just want to rewind time to when we were happy, when I believed him, when ignorance felt like peace. And then there are days when I honestly don't know if I'll ever be okay again. And maybe that's why I'm writing this here, to get it out, to let someone, anyone, know that my heart is breaking, that I feel stupid, lost, and hopeless, that nothing feels okay anymore. So, chat, help me out here. Be honest with me. Do people like him ever change? Is it possible he'll ever realize what he's thrown away? Or is it true what they say? Once a cheater, always a cheater? Because right now, I don't have the answers. I don't even know where to start. All I know is that the man I loved most in the world chose someone else, and I don't know how to live with that. Once again, guys, what do I do?